Come, let us drink whilst we've got breath, for there's no drinking after death.
When we started out building Assassin's Creed Syndicate, we really wanted to make the city the star of the game, the star of the show. It needs to feel like it's the main character of the game. So we were looking for a city that would allow us to do something new, something that felt fresh to our players.
Down, 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 down among the dead men, let in law.
London was the center of it all. It's where the Industrial Revolution started, and it's where it was its epicenter. So that's where we wanted to take our players, into this city that is marvelous from an architectural point of view, but that is also the center of innovation.
So London in the Industrial Revolution was a city of contrasts. It's the birth of capitalism, the one we know. There's a lot of political ideas that got started in Victorian London.
It's such a vibrant city at this point. It's a huge city. It's got people coming from all over the world, traders, people coming to look for work, the sailors coming in on the boats. You're having such a mix of cultural references, of people from very different backgrounds, and so it's just a real bonanza of things where you can say, oh, this is really interesting, let's look at this element.
The coal-powered engines, the trains, the boats, there's a mechanical aspect to it. So I don't think it is, we had to do it like that way, but I think it's the right timing for it in the brand. It does introduce a lot more speed, a lot more technology.
It completely changed the way we build the world. On the Assassin's Creed franchise, we often go buildings first. We place the buildings, and then the roads emerge from the space between those buildings. Because we introduced those vehicles, vehicular gameplay, we had to think about roads first. Also, London had us change our mindset about tools, because the buildings were so much higher than 200 or 300 years prior to the time that we set the game in. So we had to invent a new tool that we called a rope launcher that was initially made to allow the player to climb faster onto buildings, because we know on the franchise that the faster players can climb onto buildings, the more fun the game will be.
You can't leave out landmarks that are important and known to the public. So if we were going to do London without Westminster Abbey or something like that, that's sort of a missed opportunity. So basically, keeping the shape of the city intact, and making sure that we chop down some of the distances so that they're fun to drive, and gameplay will drive the layout of the city. But we needed to make sure that we hit what makes London London. From Big Ben to St. Paul's Cathedral, we needed to nail that so that you recognize it.
Because London is the star of the show, we don't want it to feel like it's all the same everywhere. But the intention was really to make it feel like you were making a voyage through the city, a voyage from poverty to the richer areas of the city, and to make you feel the different aspects of the Industrial Revolution. So those boroughs, some will touch more on the subject of poverty, of crime.
The way London separates itself from former locations, I would say, again, definitely the Industrial Revolution, which is a very strong symbol of the period. It has a very strong impact on the way city develops. The speed that you can see on the city itself, in the streets of London, the trains, the railway networks, the train station, the steamboats on the Thames, all these things, the street lighting as well, may seem like a detail, but these things are really strongly setting the city apart from former locations.
Well, London, for us, for a long time was our main character. So it has to feel believable, living and breathing, like we used to say. It has to feel like it's a character of its own. So you can just sit down on a roof and look the city live. And with the time of day, dynamic time of day, things are changing, crowd life change, the weather system coming in, the fog is coming in. So I think for the brand is the natural next step.
The way the city lives on, I would say with or without the character, is part of its signature, because we keep mentioning London is movement, London is modernity. It really is a breathing city. It really is a moving and a living city. I'm so proud we get to create, this Victorian version of London. And we could see it kind of a tribute to the city, I guess, and in the way we were impressed by the city, by its history, by what it is right now, how it evolved. And of course, as an historian, I would add that if we can interest people in learning more about this place and about the period, the Victorian period as a whole is super interesting. And so then this would be something I would be proud of, really.